Hi everyone, I'm Maddie with Temple of Geek, and I am here at San Diego Comic-Con talking to Wendy Martin, the creator of Castle Swimmer. How are you today?
I'm great.
Awesome, very cool. How does it feel to be here celebrating your story and storytelling in general?
It feels amazing, like a dream come true. Anytime I get to do anything like this, it feels like, oh, I'm a real author. That's crazy.
Right, yeah. Have you had a favorite fan interaction so far?
Oh, dude, I had a fan. They were so sweet. They crocheted my little mascot character, Arp. They did a full crochet that took them months and months, and they brought it to me and had me sign the bottom. And I was like, oh, that's so fun. It's so cute.
That's adorable. Arp is so cute. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. So what originally inspired Castle Swimmer?
It was originally inspired by the first Kingdom Hearts game, the part where you play the Little Mermaid section. For some reason, that specific section inspired this entire story. So thank you, Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Amazing. Do each of your characters have different inspirations from that little segment?
Not really. Well, they kind of started as different characters, and then they kind of changed as I launched the project. Originally, Siren and Kappa had opposite personalities, and then they just Kappa became the sassy one, and Siren became the more meek one. So they just kind of changed naturally as I worked on the project.
That's awesome. Very cool. The queer representation in Castle Swimmer is phenomenal. And a lot of queer stories have explanations of the characters, but with Castle Swimmer, it feels very natural. There's really no explanation. That's just part of who they are. And so what inspired you to create their identities this way?
I think that's something I love about doing fantasy is you can kind of create, you can set what the culture and expectations are in the world. You don't necessarily have to go off reflective of our own society. So you can just make a world where, yeah, everyone's gay, it's super chill, nobody really cares, and that's something I love about fantasy. So
yeah, absolutely. And it feels so real for a lot of these communities, and it's so nice to see so many different identities represented, and it's amazing. I'm just gonna keep saying it over and over again. It's phenomenal. It's so wonderful. What sort of impact have you noticed Castle Swimmer has had on its audience?
I have had a lot of young readers come to me and they tell me that I started reading this in elementary school and now I'm going into college. I'm like, oh my God. But several people have told me that it helped them with their own coming out, which is huge for me because I was also a kid that was in the closet at one point. So that always specifically something that helping them with their sexuality or their identity in some way is always the most impactful to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And has that impact surpassed what you even imagined when you first started?
Oh yeah. I just made this for me, pretty much. I just want to make this wacky mermaid story that I'm having fun with. I never thought it would have this kind of reach.
Right. Yeah, and so when you were first creating this, and like you said, it was for you, did you have any other audiences in mind, like a target audience, or were you mostly just this is my fun little story, and if someone likes it, great?
Yeah, pretty much the second. And I think because I was also a gay kid growing up, it just happened to really, people in that same spot resonate with the story as well.
Yeah. That's really cool. Have you had anyone tell you that your work has inspired them to start drawing or writing or anything?
Yes, several people come to me and tell me that they now want to make a Webtoon or they have started one because of mine, which is as an artist, that's the hugest honor in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen fan art and fan fictions or anything?
Yes, especially fan art. I have a little, every social media, I have a little folder of all the cute fan art, and it's it makes my day every time I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what was one of the big challenges that you had to overcome when you were first creating Castle Swimmer?
Let's see, a big one was maintaining a schedule. When I first started, I was working part-time as a waitress, so trying to do comics on the side is really, really tough, especially doing it consistently. But after you just have the passion to make comics, so you just push through it and find something that works for you, and hopefully you can be as consistent as possible with it.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you find time to balance the work and the comics?
Sometimes I'd call out of work sick. Not tell them I just want to work on my comic, actually. But yeah, I think because I was a waitress, you have a little bit more of a flexible schedule, so that helped me a lot. But yeah, you just kind of like squeeze in time wherever you can and give yourself a lot of grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Grace is huge for sure. Yeah. And as you've worked on this series over the last few years, what are some ways that you've changed your creative process since the beginning?
Definitely, especially now that it's become something I'm lucky to do full time. It's something I'm like, okay, my full work schedule can be dedicated to trying to make comics in a way that works for me and most efficiently. So now, yeah, my whole day is kind of planned around making comics, which I love, and I think it has really helped me stay on schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool. So, how do you keep yourself organized while you're world building?
I am not organized at all. I wish I was more organized. I recommend people be organized because it is kind of crazy. But I do have my own weird sense of how I keep track of things. It might be like all over the place in a Notes app and a Google Doc, not organized at all. But I do have a method to my madness. So
Yes. Amazing. And has that changed over time, or is that just the way it's been since the beginning?
it has. I have slowly become a little bit more organized with like each year. So I'm hoping to one day just straight up be organized with all of my stuff.
Right. Yeah. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start out as a webtoon creator?
I think the best thing is to just like start doing it. I think you can get trapped in this cycle of like preparing or like my art's not good enough yet. I want to prepare all this. Just start making comics right away. That's the quickest way to get good at creating comics is to just like start making them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Absolutely. Don't wait, right?
Don't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your con, and congratulations on the printed copies of Castle Swimmer. That's so exciting.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Like that booth I bought this thing at, that's his booth.
What? Wait, you gotta get into that. You gotta be back. I wish that I could. Of course.
Thank you so much.
Maybe dumpling. Sorry. Oh, excuse me.
Hi, everyone. Maddie here, and I wanted to give you all some context behind the interview that you just watched. As a journalist, I attended San Diego Comic-Con at the end of July, and as an entertainment journalist, I was able to participate in a variety of really amazing interviews with some very talented creators. And I was invited by 10 Speed Press and Random House Publishing to interview Wendy Martin. Wendy is a webtoon creator who has had her story published in physical copies, which is a huge deal for someone who has their content mainly on digital or strictly on digital for people to read. Um, and so we were celebrating that and getting to dive deeper into the inspiration behind her story. And sometimes at these big events, we have to roll with some improvisation as far as finding a quiet and out of the way space to chat and record these interviews, which is why we kind of looked like we were in the back rooms. But that was actually inside of the Random House Publishing booth itself. So that was actually pretty cool to go in there and see a little bit of behind the scenes, even though the space was pretty small, but it's okay. It worked out and it was wonderful. And if you want to know more about Castle Swimmer, or if you want to learn more about San Diego Comic-Con in general, go ahead and leave a comment and we would love to talk to you about these things.